I strongly believe in the idea of Christians owning property. The world is better off with Christians in positions of financial strength, and cash flowing property can do just that. My friend Steve has built a substantial real estate portfolio here in New Hampshire, and now he's teaching Christian brothers to do the same. Go to consultingbycurios.com. He's got options where he coaches you through buying your first rental property or done-for-you options for busy people. Again, visit consultingbycurios.com. The link is in the description. All right, everybody. It is Thursday, February 6th, year of our Lord 2025, and it's a great day. Today is a great day to get after it and to get some things done. It's as simple as that. It's snowing outside, you know. It snowed quite a bit here in the last few weeks, I would say. Got a few inches on the ground, new inches, and we've got, a lot of snow on the ground already. So it's all shaping up. It's all shaping up, Adam. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm in a good mood, guys. It's as simple as that. I'm in a real good mood, and I'm going to do a little ranting and raving later. But for now, there's a lot of positivity in the air. That's for sure. The Mets signed Pete Alonso to a nice 2-year short-term deal. Very, very good for the Mets. Good for Pete Alonso, too, because he'll probably be setting all kinds of Mets records in those 2 years. So that's really good. Good stuff all around. And, I've been on Twitter a little bit. I haven't been posting too much, but I don't know. I think the fighting has died down a little bit, too, and that's a positive and a negative. I kind of like the energy that the fighting brings to the table, but I don't know, man. I mean, Trump's just been, pushing out win after win after win, and everyone's just feeling real good. I've had a lot of conversations with people in the last couple of weeks. I've had a lot of people connect with me on LinkedIn. By the way, if you haven't done that yet, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll send you a little voice message as a thank you as well. Just so many great connections. I mean, God has provided his people with just an unbelievable amount of talent in almost every field. I mean, I even had a guy connect with me today, or yesterday rather, he designs clothing. He designs apparel. That's his job. He's like a design leader. Lots of software engineers, lots of people in traditional engineering, even some people in the mining sector, which is one of my favorite sectors. There's just so much going on out there. Lots of talent, and a lot of people in positions of authority as well, which is very, very good. We have no excuse, guys. It's as simple as that. We have no excuse. God has provided us with tons of people. Look, it's not as many as we want. We want more Christians, right? We want more serious Christians than we've ever had before. Of course, we always want more, but we have enough. We have enough to do big, mighty things, man. We just have to have the will to do it and the energy and the initiative to go and do it. If you've got an idea and you've got a business in mind, you can just go and do it. And the thing is, it might be hard. This is the thing. One of the best memes that's been coming out in the last few weeks is you can just do things. You know what I mean? We see Trump out there just doing stuff, and did he ask permission to get Elon Musk, a security clearance? I don't know if he asked permission or not, but it got done. Did he ask anybody if it was okay to threaten, Canada with tariffs so that they would actually secure the border, or Mexico for that matter? Did he ask anyone's permission? No, he just did it. He just did it, and everyone's all freaking out. Oh my goodness, the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. And then 18 hours later, both sides immediately caved and said, okay, fine, we'll put some troops on the border. Why not? You know what I mean? You can just do things. And some things that you can just do are easy. And do those things for sure. I like to do that. I like to start with the easy stuff, the stuff that's very, one-dimensional. I can just go and do it right then and there. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I used to work at a bakery when I was a kid. And when I worked at this bakery, one of my favorite jobs was washing the dishes because it's just so easy. You know what I mean? And the thing about washing dishes is when you're done because the dish is disgusting and dirty, and then it's clean, and then you're done. It's as simple as that. It's a very, transactional kind of thing. But there's also hard things that you can do too. And you could just do those as well. You could just do hard things. It's as simple as that. You want to start a business? You can do it. Oh, you want to make a new piece of software? You can do that too. Even if you're not a software engineer, you can figure out how to get it done. If you really want to do something, you can get it done. It's as simple as that. God's got our back, too. I mean, God's provided you with a lot of skills and talents and things like that. He's also provided you with a lot of other people as well. That's the other thing that we don't always realize. He's provided us with a lot of people. And all these people have different talents and different abilities and different desires and skills and all this kind of stuff, right? And all you got to do is talk to some people and you can get it done. Simple as that. You just can just do things. What a revelation, right? What a revelation. And I got to say, I have been watching the show Kitchen Nightmares lately with my wife, just kind of, every now and then we'll sit down and watch some Kitchen Nightmares. And it's amazing to me, just a lot of times these restaurant owners, they're successful for a long time. They had the restaurant for 20 years, and it was great for 15 years, and then all of a sudden it sucks, right? All of a sudden they can't figure it out, and they don't know what's going on, right? And you wonder, like, what happened there? What happened there that they're good and they knew how to do it, and then all of a sudden they don't know how to do it. And sometimes there's something specific, like somebody in the family died, or something like that, or someone started drinking or something like that. Well, it's obvious to know what happened there, right? But sometimes it's not quite so obvious. But what does happen, though, is over time, as you start to struggle, you start to fail, you start to, not do as well as you used to do, all of a sudden, there's like this weird response that you get when you're no longer as good as you were, and then you start failing to do a lot of the basic stuff that you used to do. Like all of a sudden your refrigerator is a complete mess. It's disgusting. There's old food in there and stuff like that. That's my favorite part, when Chef Ramsay goes into the refrigerator and he pulls out the rotting meat and vegetables and stuff. Like, that's my favorite part of the show. And all of a sudden, the service just gets a little lax, right? And then all of a sudden you're cursing out the customers when they don't like the food and stuff like that. And it's like, you would never do that back when you were successful, right? But now that you're struggling a little bit and you've hit a little bit of adversity, you start to get lazy. You start to get complacent. You start to match the results that you're getting in your effort. And that is very insidious, because I think it often happens slowly. You cut a few corners here, you do something here, and things like that. And then you look back and you don't even recognize your own business, right? And I got to say, I've fallen victim to this as well. In my business, it can be very cyclical at times. And sometimes I'm doing really well. Like, I feel like, man, I'm going to be a Rockefeller before long. And then sometimes I'm not doing so well, and it's more of a struggle. I still make enough money, but it's just more of a struggle. It's not quite as, it doesn't come quite as easy. And that can, things happen in the job market and stuff like that. It's a cyclical thing sometimes. But what I have noticed is that sometimes in those periods where I'm not doing quite as well as I used to do, there are some bad habits that kind of rear their ugly head, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And you look up and you don't even recognize yourself anymore. This is the thing, guys. We don't have to worry about that stuff, man. We can just keep moving forward. We put the effort in. God plans the success or the failure, and we just keep pushing forward and plowing forward. You're working for the Lord, right? You're working for the Lord. And so just put that effort in, and you just, it's the Lord's stuff that you're dealing with. It's the Lord's resources that you're managing. It's the Lord who's your true and ultimate boss, your true and ultimate master. Keeping that in mind, you can't let these kind of little things go by the wayside. He sees them. You're living your life before the eyes of God. I was talking to my sons about this just yesterday. We were reading the Proverbs and talked about that kind of thing. It's amazing. We've got no excuse, guys. There's so much winning going on right now, and the energy that you feel right now, that like anything is possible and you can just do anything, you could actually keep that energy for always. It's as simple as that, man. This is the time to press in. This is the time to push the issue. This is the time to get worse. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the time to get worse and worse and worse, because that is how you stack wins, man. And that's the other thing too. Some people, they're not happy unless they've got like the total victory, like the total victory, or they got everything that they always wanted. Like, when you're playing a sport, right? You're playing football, you want to win by 10 touchdowns every game, right? And there are some people though that like they're not satisfied with the couple point victories here and there. But if you look at football, a lot of times these games are decided by 3 points, 4 points, 6 points. And those victories count too. You gotta enjoy the victories. If you want to know how to win, you gotta respect the process of winning. And sometimes that winning happens on the last play of the game, the last drive of the game, and that's fine because that's still a win. It counts just as much as the win that you got in the first quarter when there was no turning back. So winning teams, they know how to win. I know that sounds stupid, but it's really true. Like the difference really in the production of a winning team versus a losing team, oftentimes it's really not that much in terms of points, in terms of yards, in terms of things like that. But those winning teams, they just have that mentality that at any moment they can win. Doesn't matter if it's the bottom of the ninth inning. Doesn't matter if it's the first inning. They can win the game at any point. Doesn't matter if they have 2 outs and they're down to their last strike. One swing of the bat can change everything. They know that, and they operate like that all the time. That's the thing, man. We're winning right now, but we have to also win in our real lives. This is the time to press in and to get the promotion at work and to win the business and start a new business and those ideas that you've had on the back burner to push them forward. This is the time. How much better would it be if we've got the mood shift on DEI? Because that's really, in my opinion, that's all it is. It's a mood shift, right? I think this DEI stuff is not going to go away completely, and it's definitely not going to go away permanently unless we make it go away permanently. It's so cool, man. It's like sexy to talk about how you've been against DEI the whole time. Deep down we know that a lot of us really weren't. We just went with the flow one way or the other, right? But the thing is, now that it's cool to be against DEI, you actually have to go ahead and take that ground so that it can never be taken again. Now's the time to go for that promotion so that the next time some idiot comes to you with a DEI plan, you could just nip it in the bud right away and say, no, we don't do that here. We just don't do that here. It's not good for the business. It's not good for anybody. This is the time to take ground, my friend. This is the time. You can just do things, guys. Simple as that. You can just do things. Again, let me just say, hook up with me on LinkedIn. I've had some great conversations already with people that just are extremely talented, man. Extremely talented. And I'll hook you guys up too, man. If you've got an idea for a piece of software, but you don't have the skills, but you do have maybe sales skills or something like that, I'll hook you up with people. Simple as that. I'll make the connections. In any case, that's enough positivity for the day. That's enough positivity for the day. I decided I needed a little bit of aggression in my life. You know what I mean? It's just been a lot of optimism. I needed to get a little aggressive. So what I did was I went to the Gospel Coalition website on YouTube, and I haven't been there in a while, and I just started perusing the offerings here. And under the podcast section, we've got a podcast called Glow. That's right, it's called Glow. And I knew that was the one I had to check out, and so I did check out a few things, but. Let me give you a little sampling of the Glow podcast.
Daughter who got saved.
We're gonna not do that one. Let's do the God cares about your mental health one. That's what we're gonna do.
God's strength is made perfect in our weakness.
Yeah.
And I think often, whether we're struggling with mental health or struggling with our emotions or, just tempted towards depression, the reality is
I think a lot of people use the word struggling, and I use the word struggling. In fact, I may have recently. But in this context, it's always grated on me struggling. I'm struggling with my mental health and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's a fine word. I'm not against it necessarily, but it just always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. How about conquering? How about I'm battling? How about I'm fighting? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Put aside mental health for a minute because I just can't respect anybody who uses the word mental health in a non-ironic way. But yeah, how about I'm defeating it, I'm fighting it, I'm going toe to toe with it. How about that instead of struggling? You know what I mean? Struggling is so like, I don't know, I'm gonna beat it, I don't know, that kind of thing. No, I'm fighting it. That still has a little bit of uncertainty to it too, but there's a little more aggression to it. I don't know.
it's pointing us to the fact that we are weak, that we're needy, and we have a God who's here ready to bear our burdens, a God who understands, who cares for us, who sympathizes with our weaknesses. at it again and being able to have.
Man, I don't know. I don't know how much of this I can take. I really don't know. It's true. God can bear our burdens, of course. And of course, in a comparative sense to God, of course, we're weak. He is strong. You know what I mean? And we all have moments of weakness. We all get that. But I will say, though, that, this is a podcast for women, I think. I don't know. Let's find out. They're creating a safe space within the local church to share their emotional and mental health struggles. I don't know about that. Is this about the... I don't know. Is this exclusively for women, or it's all women? So I would assume so. Let's find out the introduction. Let's look at the introduction of this podcast.
My name is Blair Lynn, and I'm super excited to introduce our new podcast, Glow, from the Gospel Coalition Podcast Network. I'm here with my friends,
Sujin Parr,
Shannon Dickens,
Aisha de Lopez.
And we are going to be talking about, Glow, let me explain, means global. So we're going to be talking about the global church. Over the next 10 weeks, we'll be addressing different topics like art and mental health,
prosperity theology, adoption,
social media.
So we're really excited to have this conversation together, and we hope that you'll listen in. And remember that you are to glow, that you are the light of the world, and let your light shine before men so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. So we hope you'll join us.
This is interesting. It does not say it is specifically directed towards women, although I have to assume that's what they have in mind. It is so womanly. You gotta glow. You gotta just glow. That's what we're here to do. We're supposed to glow. It's about the global church, and we're supposed to glow in the global church. Man, can you imagine listening to that? Honestly, can you imagine listening to this podcast? I can't. I mean, I don't even know if I can take any more of this. Oh, man. Glow. Who listens to this? I mean, this has 3,000 views. That is shocking. Shocking. I mean, it's a year. It's been up a year, but it's got 3,000 views, and that's a lot. Look, and there's two people, legitimate people here. Can't wait to listen. Can't wait. I didn't even know Gospel Coalition had its comments open. Who knew? Let's find another one here. Let's say I ran towards morality.
Biblical faith is to have an active, current belief, a confidence in and trust, specifically in the object of our faith, which is Jesus Christ, who's our Lord. And so faith is not something that we just had at one particular time in our life. It's continuous, right? We have been justified by faith, and yet we walk by faith. And so, personally, I made a profession of faith when I was 9. I did what they call walk the aisle, and responded to an altar call. I was baptized at 9 years old and really got involved in the church. What I didn't realize at the time is, though I made a profession of faith, I didn't know Christ the person in a very personal, intimate way. I didn't think I was that bad because I just kind of went on being moral. I think there are a couple ways that we can run from God, and some run towards immorality, and I ran towards morality.
I'm from an unchurched
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I thought this would make me angrier. Now I'm angry because I'm not that angry. I mean, it's not good. Don't get me wrong. It's not good. But it's just not. Let's try one more. Kingdom versus online influencer. Let's try that one.
There's like a key difference
I feel
between
attacked.
having a positive influence for the kingdom versus being an influencer. And I think it's really comes down to like your conscience, right? And what you desire in your heart. In a way, we should all strive to be a positive influence. We should strive to influence the other women around us, to love the Lord, to love their local churches. But I feel like the difference is when you want to be an influencer, there's so much internal pressure to curate certain type of content. There's so much pressure to curate an image for yourself that goes beyond just pointing to the gospel. And so I think I do see a lot of Christian women who, when they start receiving a certain amount of following on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, I think it's really hard not to get into that pressure and temptation to want to turn yourself into somebody more than just pointing to Christ and the work that you do.
Really don't like like that little dance that she does. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Just whatever. I mean, there's really not much to say. I mean, listen, if you want to be an influencer and that's like your dream job, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to just be an influencer and that's what you want to do and that's how you want to make your income and all that kind of stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously, like, you want to share the gospel with people. That's another priority, but you could also have another job. You know what I mean? Like you want to be an influencer and you want to be a Christian. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Even if you're influencing, it has nothing to do with theology. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You could be an influencer in anything if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing. Like I one of my things that I've been thinking a lot about. I think this a theme of my thoughts lately is just this thing that gospel-centered people tend to do, where it's just like really nothing else matters, right? Nothing else really makes a difference. Nothing else moves the needle. And that's just not the case at all. It's not the case at all. If you're, like, again, with the ideas that I was talking about earlier, like you want to start a business, a software, it doesn't have to be a Christian software. It doesn't have to be about, the church or something for the church or something like that. It could just be, I don't know, payroll software. It could just be a payroll software. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know, man. I feel like this was a dud. I don't know. I'm never going to watch this Glow podcast again. That's for sure. It absolutely sucks. But, I don't know. It's whatever. Who cares? Who cares? In any case, sorry for not getting what I was hoping for, which was hoping to get a little crazy. But, they can't all be winners, I guess. In any case, I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.
Fuego, mi amor por ti es puro fuego. Fuego, puro fuego es mi amor por ti.